So I've got some pretty good Moza force feedback settings for Forza Horizon 6. Now you might be wondering, hang on a second, people are saying that Moza doesn't even work on Forza Horizon 6. Maybe you think I'm driving with no force feedback, but I can assure you the force feedback is working on my Moza. So what we have here is an R25 paired with the Lamborghini Revuelto wheel, which is quite a large diameter wheel, and it's a very powerful wheelbase, so bear that in mind when I run you through these settings. Now in this video I'm going to explain to you why I've done the settings as I have. We tested this a lot on stream. We tested basically all the settings. We went from extremes and we got like a little sweet spot in the middle, and this is all about a sweet spot, to be honest. And I'm also going to show you how you actually get Moza force feedback working on Forza Horizon 6 if you don't have it working at the moment. So hopefully if you're interested in Moza, I've got you covered. And as always, if you want to get Moza gear, please use my affiliate links to all of the products. They'll be in my description, or my creator code is Kireth. Now the sweet spot I'm talking about is to do with not having either end of the following. You don't want your wheel rotation to be too high. You don't want it to be, I think generally, 1080 unless you're on quite a small wheel. And I've used 1080 for example on the Thrustmaster Gran Turismo wheel, but on something like the Lamborghini I just think 1080 is too much rotation. You're not going to be able to catch oversteer moments, and it's going to be too frustrating. Also going around hairpins and stuff, you're just going to feel like you're understeering. By the way, these are the settings I'm showing you now, so you can see my simulation steering setting, but also in advanced controls this is what we've done here. So make sure you screenshot this and definitely try these out. I'll explain, by the way. The dead zone is so you can actually map everything without your pedals trying to override it. We've gone for basically no center spring in this. We've gone for basically no damper. Mechanical trails a little bit higher than normal, 0.5. That was a real icing on the cake. Minimum force 1.3, load 1.3, and then really importantly steering sensitivity 0.5. Now there is a difference between the Xbox and PC. Xbox, you can change the steering rotation in Forza Horizon 6. You can't do that on PC, which is kind of insane. So this is what I have in Moza Pit House. You can see 30% on the R25, 800 degrees. That's the sweet spot we found, and it might even be you want to go down to 750, but it seemed to be between 720 and 900 was the sweet spot. Now, if you're outside of the sweet spot and it's too sensitive, you're going to end up kind of maybe driving like this, where the car is always feeling like it wants to step out, it's always oversteering, and you're counter steering that oversteer with like more oversteer, and you're never really getting good traction. And it's quite a stop-start way of driving. It can feel like oversensitive, and this can happen especially if you're running like 540 degrees or even low in the steering wheel, unless you've got a great wheel. My Fanatec settings I actually run at 540, so make sure you keep an eye out for those fantasies. I even literally, I think I died here. Like, it changed the camera and was like, you're done, mate. However, if you go a little bit too far the other way, so this might be 1080 degree rotation with relatively low sensitivity, it can feel like your wheel is slightly delayed or dampened, and when you want to avoid traffic, it's difficult to do it, and you end up wagging your wheel and not a lot happens, which doesn't give you confidence. Now this is the Lamborghini Revuelto actual car, so this is the car where my wheel is from, which is kind of insane. So like, this footage is madness, but it also has a useful functionality for us, because you can literally see here my wheel one-to-one in real life and in the game, including on the rotation, and that means I'm running at 1080, and that means I'm not nimble enough. Even if you put the sensitivity up, I just think there's too much rotation required on the wheel. Now you can change this with linearity. We did change the steering linearity. We brought it down actually, but I just didn't feel comfortable giving you settings with non-linear steering linearity. I think that just could cause more problems. But I found this very, very, very understeery. So again, 1080 didn't work for me. If you have a smaller diameter wheel, maybe like the Moza ESX, so you might want to tweak that if you're on the ESX, you can kind of get away with it. But my feeling in Forza Horizon 6 is you don't want to have too wide a degree on your wheel, because you just understeer, but you also don't want to have too short, because you're constantly going to be oversteering, especially in the powerful cars. So now you can kind of understand my sweet spot. And for a diameter wheel like this, what we did is we brought it down to 720, brought it down to 900, and we kind of got in the middle. Now if you have a look here, have a look how the wheel is manipulating the car. This is much more balanced. So you can see as I turn in, the car's turning in quite nicely. If I need to unwind, it's quite a natural unwinding. This looks like quite a natural way of driving, and that means I'm in tune with the car. So a lot of these force feedback settings are to do with that sensitivity and also the rotation, because we also lowered the sensitivity, because sometimes just having like the right a slightly larger rotation on a lower sensitivity can also just make it a bit less twitchy, for lack of a better word. You have to remember Forza Horizon 6 is designed really for people on the gamepad, and they're going to be on lock to lock all the time. But you just can't do that on the wheel. I've seen that in Gran Turismo. Like you can't, they'll go around hairpins and have some kind of controller assist on, whereas I have to drive hairpins in different ways because it physically takes me longer to get to lock. But these settings here, you can see, working really nicely for me. Very different to what I've got on my Fanatec with a Formula wheel, and I think I will call them Formula settings. But this for like a larger diameter road wheel. I mean, this Lamborghini wheel is very nice. It could be the best Forza Horizon 6 wheel you can get potentially. It's got so many buttons, it feels like a road car wheel, but you can really mess it up as well if you don't have the right sensitivity settings. But when you get it right, you can actually drive and you can get into it. The other big change I made, and this is very specific because I'm on the Moza and mBooster active pedals, is that I changed the resistance on the pedals and made it much easier to get to 100%. Initially I had my mBooster on like my GT3 settings, and where it's kind of, you have to strain to get to 100%, but then you're more comfortable at 80%. Forza Horizon 6 doesn't work that way. You've got to be comfortable getting to 100%. Now I promised I'd tell you how to even get force feedback working if it's not working for you. So leave a cherries emoji in the comments if that's you. You're like hoping to get Forza working on your Moza base. Here's what you need to do, absolutely critical. You need to update your Moza Pithouse software to the latest one. As of the time making this video, I think it's 1.3.9, and I don't even think it automatically does it for you. I think it's like a one you have to select. So go to the firmware section in Pithouse, you should see that number there and then install it. So you've got to do that. Also, you have to make sure that your Moza device is device number 1 in Moza Pithouse. So if it's showing up as device number 2, I don't think you're going to get force feedback working. And I don't know any elegant way of doing this other than disconnecting other stuff from your PC. By the way, you can see here, like, you can have some quite fun driving on your Moza with the force feedback. Like, force feedback does work. If anyone says force feedback just doesn't work, or if any YouTubers can't get it working, direct them to this video. You can get it working. Device 1, latest firmware. Just keep being persistent. Once you've got your settings hooked up, you seem to be able to get back into those settings, if that makes sense. Remember, I've got Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, Conspit, all connected to my PC at various times, but I'm able to get back to these Moza settings and tweak them. The other thing is to bear in mind your Moza Pithouse wheel rotation is so important. I genuinely think that if on this wheel, which is quite a large wheel like I said, if I kept it at 1080 degrees in Pithouse, I don't think I could save it in the Forza Horizon 6 settings. I really mean that. I think it'd be a very frustrating experience. It's incredible really, like how much tuning you need to do in Forza Horizon 6 on your wheel. Like, I don't think any of the wheels out of the box are anywhere near as good as you can tune them. But hopefully that's helped you. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if it has. Use my affiliate links if you're buying Moza. I'm glad it's working, and I'll see you in the next video.